Today we're gonna be talking about how good the Western Conference standing is about to be stacked and the playoffs that are gonna happen with the Western Conference. So let's get into it. Right now, the top 10 seeds are clinched, and all 10 of the teams have a winning record, which is crazy because last year in the Western Conference standings there were basically 10 teams with a winning record. Only OKC at the 10th seed was at 42, but this year already at 42 is the Golden State Warriors, and they could win 5 more games to get a 47 win team. And the 10th seed is crazy this season and all of these wins. Because right now, at the Warriors' pace of wins, they would have been the 4th seed with the Suns having a 45-37 record. The Warriors have a 42-35 record, so like if they win like 3 out of the next 5 games, they would have been the 4th seed in the last year's conference. But this year they're not even in the play-in. I mean, they are in the play-in, but like they're not even making the top half of the play-in, and they have to fight for competing to win or lose and be in a lottery, which would be a disaster. But yeah, let's talk about the conference in general, how I feel about them, and yeah. So the Timberwolves, Nuggets, and Thunder first echelon according to standings. My other contenders, basically all 10 teams can make the conference finals. Sorry for the yeah. Basically all 10 teams can make the conference finals, I feel like. At least the second round, yes. The Timberwolves are really good. Anthony Edwards, Rudy Gobert, Jaden McDaniels, and more, helping their defense be number one. Along with Karl-Anthony Towns' imminent return, he is going to come back around play-in playoffs. Probably going to come back before the playoffs, which is really good news for the Timberwolves. As at first, when he was announced that he was going to be out, said he was going to be out for at least some start of the playoffs. But yeah, Timberwolves, if they continue to be the first seed, they will have to do a really tough matchup though, which is crazy about the West. They could go versus the Kings, Lakers, or Warriors, or Pelicans, or even the Phoenix Suns. Now it feels like probably the Mavericks and the Clippers will most likely not reach the play-in. Clippers is basically not gonna reach the play-in, but the Mavericks, I feel like they won't either. Maybe the Suns too. So I mean, they have a 1-game lead against the Pelicans, but the Pelicans were the 4th seed till Brandon Ingram got injured. Let's talk about the Nuggets, the defending champions. They won this amount of games, 53 last season, and the West is stacked. They're about to reach even higher than that by a lot, but there's 2 other teams that might be better than them in the standings, at least, not like actually the team. But the Nuggets have a really compelling case of winning the championship again. Number 2 seed as of now, but they can probably reach number 1. They're tied for number 1. I feel like a dark horse contender to beat the Nuggets is the Timberwolves with that defense, but the Nuggets, Jokic, Jamal Murray is a playoff riser, and the Jokic, Aaron Gordon, Jokic, Jamal Murray, like 2-man games are insane. Jokic, of course, one of the best players in the playoffs and the best player in the league right now, unless you're counting Joel Embiid, maybe, but this is the West. So yeah, the Nuggets have a really good case to win the championship, and even if they do, they have to go through the Pelicans or the Kings in the first round, possibly the Lakers, who might be a bad matchup because AD can actually have a decent chance to guard Jokic, or the Warriors, who, I feel like Denver's perimeter defense is a little bit weaker, with Jamal Murray, Reggie Jackson, and stuff like that as the point guards, so Steph Curry might have a great game. But, Denver has KCP, P. Watson, Aaron Gordon to guard their players. So yeah, and then in the second round, they will probably have to versus either the Thunder, or whoever, maybe the Suns or Mavericks, which would be hard, and then go into the conference finals versus someone like the Timberwolves or the Clippers, and then finals versus Celtics. Whoever makes it to the Western Conference Finals probably faced a really hard task. I feel like most of these series are actually going to be competitive, not like previous seasons where there's going to be a lot of sweeps. Like the past few seasons, there's barely been any sweeps in general. I believe in 2022, the only sweep was the Celtics versus Nets, and that was a series that a lot of people thought would be actually really good, and the Nets would have won. Then the other one, this season, there was a one sweep of the Nuggets versus Lakers, and then there was another sweep, I believe, but the Sixers versus Nets, I believe, was a sweep, but that one wasn't really that good because KD and Kyrie left. But that's in the East. Then we talk about the OKC Thunder, who also have a great case to win the championship, looking like the 2011-12 OKC Thunder from Kevin Durant, Russell Westbrook, and James Harden. But instead, they have a new big three, Shea, Jalen Williams, and Chet Holmgren. I don't feel like people know how good Jalen Williams is. He could probably be an all-star next year. He's playing really good, and his offensive game is great, as well as his defense is pretty good as well. And then Chet, of course, even as a rookie, one of the best rookies that like impacts winning in a while. And he is a great player for them with his size and his defense. Of course, they needed a center last year, and Chet has been really good as their lockdown player. Then we have Shea, of course, who is going to come back before the playoffs. The Thunder kind of resting him more, so I feel like the Thunder will probably not go to the top 2 seed, but Shea is a great player for them. It'll be very funny if they verse the Suns. It's like the old big three, I guess, older, because Kevin Durant, Devin Booker, and Bradley Beal versus the new big three. Of course, Kevin Durant played for the old Thunder big three too. That would be crazy. I would really love to see that. And I actually do not know who will win because Thunder, the only weakness the Thunder have is they do not have that much playoff experience. Now, Lu Dort, Shea has some playoff experience. Shea has like 2 series, I believe, so he has some playoff experience, but like Jay Williams, Chet, and some of their role players don't have as much. Then the Clippers right now. After like February, they haven't been good, but they have been kind of rallying back up with winning 5 of their last 6 against pretty good teams as well, including the Nuggets and the Sixers and stuff. The LA Clippers with their big three of Harden, George, and Leonard, along with great depth, Westbrook, Powell, have a good case to also win the championship, but they're the 4th seed, and they're most likely stuck at the 4th seed because they're not going to jump up, and they're probably not going to fall down. So in the first round, they have to verse the Suns or the Mavericks, which is going to be insane. Clippers have been versing Mavericks and Suns every season, basically. And then they have to verse the Timberwolves or whoever the 1st seed is, the Nuggets, which is another insane series. And then they have to like verse the Nuggets or the Thunder or whoever goes to the conference finals. Then the Celtics, they'll be hard. But the reason why I say they have a good case is because playoff Kawhi Leonard is a real thing. Since the 2017 playoffs, he's been averaging almost 30 points per game. And he's, been playing really good this season as well. And he's probably going to come back before the playoffs with his knee injury. So yeah. Then we have the Mavericks, who have a really interesting case. Luka and Kyrie have been gelling really great lately, and their role players have been really good. The best in Luka's career so far as the Mavericks. PJ Washington has been a really good role player. Great trade for them, as well as Daniel Gafford, Derek Lively. They have a really good center core. So the Mavericks, they might have a chance, but I feel like their weakness is defense. PJ Washington and Derrick Jones Jr. seem to be like their best defenders on the wing, at least. This is not that good because, Luka and Kyrie aren't known to be defenders. I mean, their center cores are right on defense, but their perimeter defense looks a little bit bad, and Tim Hardaway Jr. hasn't been that good. Josh Green, an eater. So they would have fixed that or try to do something to that to try to maybe they put Dante Exum on someone, but they have to try to like do really good on defense to be able to win something. Then we have the Phoenix Suns. This is crazy because the Suns are one of the best teams in the league, but they're already the 6th seed. Very, very interesting because, you know, the West is stacked, so stacked that all of these teams have loaded with 2 stars at least. Each team has at least 2 stars on their team. And let's go on and talk about the Suns. They have been doing well lately, 7-3 in their last 10. Booker and Beal have been great. KD has been alright, better than that lately, but KD has been decent in the playoffs. So the Suns are a team to be watched out, especially with their role players. Grayson Allen has been great. Yusuf Nurkic has also been great. Then we have the Pelicans, who sadly lost Brandon Ingram to injury, but he will be back, I believe, before the playoffs, which is really good for them. Zion Williamson has finally been good and healthy for a season. Hopefully he will be healthy for the playoffs, which will be his first. And this will be a tough out for the first round, whoever's playing them. They showed that in their last playoff series in 2022, where they versed the Phoenix Suns, the 1st seed, and almost beat them without Zion. Now they have Zion. You know, their team is very good on defense with Herb Jones, all defensive first-team players. Jose Alvarado, too. So, yeah, the Pelicans look really good. Now we have the Kings, who, you know, I feel like sad because they lost Kevin Huerter and Malik Monk due to injuries. They'll probably not come back in the playoffs. Sorry for, that. The Domantas Sabonis and De'Aaron Fox, however, are really good. 3rd seed Kings last year. Did do really well versus the Warriors. Almost beat them in 7, but a big reason was Malik Monk, 6th man of the year most likely, who is going to be injured. So this team, I feel like, will still give a lot of fight because De'Aaron and Domantas are a really good team. I feel like Domantas will do much better in the playoffs this year than last year. One of the best big men in the league. Triple-double watch every time, every game. So this will also be a tough out. The play-in will be very interesting because 2 of the Pelicans, Kings, Lakers, Warriors, or Suns, or Mavericks, or whoever won't make the playoffs at all. And it feels like one of the Lakers or Warriors won't make the playoffs because they're the 9th and 10th seed. So one of them has to get out unless the Lakers, who are almost about to be the 8th seed, goes. Something crazy was that I found on the Twitter is that the Lakers have gone like 26-7 their last games, but they're still the 9th seed. That shows how crazy the West is. But let's talk about the Lakers too. LeBron, AD won a championship in 2020. They have a lot of really good role players. Austin Reeves, D'Angelo Russell has been good lately. Rui Hachimura has been really good lately too. So they could be a really tough beat in the first round as well. You know, last year they were the 7th seed and they beat the Warriors the Grizzlies and Warriors, who were higher seeds than them. Then finally we talk about the Warriors. Steph Curry, of course, 2022 champions with his big 3, really good depth as well. Good rookies like Brandon Podziemski and Trayce Jackson-Davis, but this is going to be insane. Last time the Warriors were in the play-in versus the Lakers, that was a masterclass. Hopefully we get another one of those this year again. That would be very, very fun. And the good thing about this playoffs is that mostly the teams are going to be healthy in the playoffs, or hopefully they will be. But the Warriors also last year, they beat the higher seed Kings. So they'll also be a tough out if they make the playoffs. But yeah, that's basically it. Thank you guys for watching, and we're out.